amp and pedal cloning, we've got vocal effects processing, a music practicing tool, and it's Wi-Fi enabled. This is HeadRush's new flagship model, the HeadRush Prime. So I know it looks quite complicated at first, but it actually couldn't be easier to use. It's got so many intuitive features that allow beginners and intermediates and professionals to use this in whatever way that they want. I personally really like this huge LCD screen right on the front. It's touchscreen as well, meaning that I can navigate a load of the menus really, really easily, especially for swapping out tones and swapping out through a lot of the other functions. What I think I'd like to get into first is the amp cloning. We've got lots of videos already on HeadRush, but because this is a new feature, I really, really can't wait to get into this. It's so cool. HeadRush have made it so easy to clone amps and pedals. It couldn't be easier. You've got a load of different competitors out there where it's a little bit more complicated. It's so easy. So let's dive into it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go from the rig view into the menu. You'll see a little button down at the bottom called Amp Cloner. Don't worry, this is for the pedal cloning as well. It'll give you a little bit of information about what to do, what not to do, but we're going to proceed. Now, what I have brought in today is a hand-wired boutique kind of fuzz pedal. It's a very particular pedal, but the reason why I've brought that in is because HeadRush are boasting the fact that you can replicate and capture the impulse response of distortion drive and fuzz pedals, something that a lot of other competitors can't do that well out there. So let's dive in. I've selected the pedal only. You get these three options at the bottom, whether it's amp and cab, amp and preamp, or pedal. Let's press next. It'll give you a few little do's and don'ts and how to wire things up. I've already taken the liberty in wiring everything up already. You've also got a quick access connection diagram just to make that super easy for you. So straight away, we're gonna make sure that our guitar level is just what they're advising it to do. So they're advising about a -6 dB, so that's falling about, yeah, that's falling about -6 dB, so we'll press next. So we're going to go ahead and start the clone. So let's press Start Clone. And what it'll do, it'll give you a little countdown. It'll go through a little bit of an analyzing process first. That is just feeding all that information through the pedal for it to replicate the impulse response of the pedal itself. Now, I'm just going to kind of talk about a few ways in which this will be so useful for a professional musician, especially if you're on tour and you don't want to be taking a lot of these boutique pedals. I mean, I know that I wouldn't want to be taking this pedal on tour too much because it's hand wired. It's pretty much a one-off pedal. So it means that while you're touring, you can capture some of your favorite pedals and store them inside the HeadRush Prime, allowing you to access and put that pedal anywhere. So we're just waiting for this to finish its first set of analysis. Now that the cloning's finished, you're given this screen, which allows you to A/B the cloned version of your pedal and the actual pedal itself. They have made that so easy, so you don't have to take any cables in and out again. It's just straight there already set up. So you've got the clone and you've got it says target amp, but that basically means the real pedal. So let's have a look. This is what the real pedal sounds like. So that is a classic bitey fuzz pedal. Let's switch over to the cloned pedal. Now, it may sound a little bit funny at first, what the cloning function has captured every nuance of the pedal, so it's given you that wide open array of all the signal that it can provide. And what this allows you to do is fine tweak that. So I know that is operating a little bit bitey, a little bit trebly. So I'm going to remove some treble. I'm going to boost some of the bass. Sag is added a natural sag function to this. So that's kind of like that natural sag that you would get from either amplifiers and pedals, which kind of provides that kind of like bumping kind of compression sound, that hump of noise that kind of drops down as you're playing. I'm going to take some of the middle out of this and maybe improve some of the gain, maybe take some of the presence down. So let's hear the original. Take some of the gain out of that, some of the presence, maybe some of the sag, maybe improve some of the bass, maybe give it a little bit of a mid boost. So we need to add a little bit more bite to it. So I think that's pretty close. So what we're gonna do next is confirm that. We're gonna save it, and I can save it under any name possible, so I can insert it into my rig, and that'll be saved as an option for you to be able to drag in. So I'm just gonna call it fuzz with a load of Zs. And now once that's done, your clone fuzz has been successfully saved, and add it to your rig using the model selector and amp clone. So yeah, so I can choose to start over, I can continue and clone something else, or I can exit. That was so easy. So now that that's finished cloning, I am going to insert that into one of my rig profiles, and we're going to A/B it. I really want to try and get it sounding and responding exactly the way that I expect this fuzz pedal to respond. Let's get into it. So now that we're going to A/B it, I'm just going to insert it into my rig. So I have a current sound at the moment, which is... Okay, that's just my standard amp sound. What I'm gonna do is select where I want it to go. I'm gonna find, okay, the amp clone. Even though it's called amp clone, it's a pedal clone, what we're bringing to light here. So I've gone ahead and called it the Dutch fuzz, because I actually sourced some of the parts from this from the Netherlands, but that is by the by. So straight away, I am hit with this screen, which allows me to tweak it even more. But for this case, not going to tweak it whatsoever, because we're going to do a little bit of a blind test that my assistant Rob is going to help me out with. So let's go to the rig screen. Rob, can you do me a favor and just jumble about those so I don't know which one is which? Do it a few times so I really don't know. And it should be either one or the other that's on. Yeah, all done? Okay. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, can you go to the other one now? And to the other one again. And to the other one again. Okay, can I guess which one is which? That's actually really, really hard. They sound exactly how I would expect it to sound. Right, I am gonna guess that the last one that I've just played on is the real fuzz. Can I turn around now to see if, yeah. That was the clone. Oh my goodness. Right, that is cool. You know, that was really, really hard to guess. Okay, that just serves the point that the fact that this cloning in here is so easy and it sounds really good. I think what I'm going to do now is kind of A/B them a little bit more in context so we can hear the subtle differences even more. So next up, we've got the music practice tool. I've pre-prepared a USB with a few songs that I've been working on at the moment for a few different artists that I can just load straight into the unit itself via the USB input at the back. Let's just pop that in. And it's as simple as popping onto the main menu. And just like last time, we went to the amp cloner, but this time we're going to the practice tool. Now, what this will allow me to do is when you click on the actual track itself, you search for the USB, and then we pop to the song that we want to practice, and then we press load. It'll spend a few seconds just loading that track. And then if I just get my headphones here, and now what I can do here is independently play the track. So now that that's playing, I can actually choose to speed it up or slow it down to help you play with it. So if I see how that changes the speed of it without changing the pitch, that's an absolutely fantastic function for practicing. So let's just whack it up in volume just ever so slightly. All at your fingertips and tips of your feet to be able to do so. So if I want to practice a certain section, what I do is I can use the loop in function. So let's just wait for the next bit to come round and I can dictate when that starts. So that's the start of the loop. So I can wait for the next bit to come round again. That's the end of the loop. So now we've captured the loop, I can practice to this independently. So I've already got my rig already sorted out. Now imagine if I am not too confident with that. Let's just slow it down. So it's as easy as that, a really good and quick function for you to be able to use. So let's move on to using a bass with it. So the HeadRush Prime is not only good for guitarists, it's good for all-around singer-songwriters. It's going to be able to handle low end from the bass as well as microphones as well. But before we go even further, I'm just going to load up another practice track that I'm going to play bass to, just to show you how it handles that. Awesome. This HeadRush Prime unit comes with all the effects, sounds, and models that we've come to love from previous HeadRush units, but there is one big difference. HeadRush have acquired an expansive cabinet and amp impulse response library from Revolver, which aims to expand the amount of tonal possibilities that you are looking for. And if you can't find the tone that you're looking for in this unit, it probably doesn't
So, one defining feature about the HeadRush Prime is that it's not only a guitar multi-effects processor, it is a vocal multi-effects processor. It is absolutely second to none, insane, because you can use all of the effects and the modeling on your guitar settings as well as the vocal settings. So it means that your tonal possibilities are absolutely endless. On the HeadRush Prime. Well, that was terrible, but you can, as a good example of what you can actually do, straight up toggle in all the effects that you want to, just the click of a button. One other defining feature of the HeadRush Prime is that HeadRush have partnered with Antares AUTO-TUNE, which is a widely used studio plugin aiming to help you get that perfect vocal take and tune your vocals as well, meaning for absolutely stellar performances, whether you're in the studio, whether you're writing, or whether you're performing live. Now, one very, very important feature is the fact that it already has a few inbuilt presets, meaning that you don't have to have just one vocal chain or one guitar chain. You can independently split the chains, so you can have effects on your vocals, effects on your guitar, independently split them. It has independent ins and independent outs, allowing you to have them go to the respective areas that you need them to go. The possibilities are absolutely endless.
So there we have it. That is the HeadRush Prime. I can't wait to see what users and musicians get up to with this unit. It's absolutely insane. It's so intuitive and it's so easy to use, even though it looks quite complicated. I've really, really enjoyed using it today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and please leave a comment down below asking me anything. Just ask me anything about this Prime unit. It's so new. I'd love to hear what you think about it. I've been Chris from Gear4music. Thanks for watching.